Hey guys, welcome to the Isles Talk viewing party, our first ever here. Unfortunately, you are stuck with me tonight. Um, my name is Paul Kreischer. I'm your host for this evening. Gary is not feeling well. He's going to be on injured reserve for a little bit. And Joe Peneteri is having a family outing, so he's not going to be here either. You are stuck with me, unfortunately, but we are going to have a fun show. This is one of my favorite ones to do earlier on in the season. This is also a Islanders game night. So we're here for like the next 3 hours. We're going to talk about the game. Um, we'll talk about the players, take any questions that you want. Basically, come back here, sit down, chat. And then at probably the first intermission, we're going to go over the Eastern Conference. And as a group, we're going to eliminate probably definitely one, maybe two by that time. Two teams out of the Eastern Conference, and as of right now, it's looking like we're going to eliminate a big number of Western Conference teams. So let me tell you why, real quick, before the Islander game gets started here. Very simple. It is actually quite possible to eliminate teams after 10 games. And let me explain here. Um, the hockey season, as we know, is a marathon. It's not a sprint. But as an Islander fan, it is very much like Belmont. You have to get off to a good start. You got to have the stamina. You got to have the conditioning. And then you got to finish strong, right? Obviously, finishing strong means winning the Stanley Cup. However, if you don't get out of the gate quick enough and you stumble, and there's enough of a distance between you and the other horses, you lose ground and then you have basically no shot. And that's basically what I do during the season. I can safely eliminate teams by game 31, playing the percentages. And for those of you who have been following me for years now, you know I've been playing the percentages. I do it all the time. And for those of you who are watching this later on, anyone doing a point pace, don't follow them. They have no idea what they're doing. No one does a point pace right now until like game 15 or 20. And the reason why I specifically don't do any kind of point pace or percentage is because I try to eliminate the streaks, whether it's a losing streak, whether it's a winning streak. You got to give the season at least 15, 20 games before you can actually see the numbers correctly. So anyone who's telling you, like, for example, the Islanders are on pace for 124 points, it just simply means they're on a hot streak. Like it's nothing. They're on a hot streak. Any team on pace for 124 points, they're on a hot streak. Big deal. Let's see how they do that for the entire season. Then we can talk something big. Okay. So yeah, you don't even have to divide the season into 20 games, Matt. You can go every other 10 games after that. You can start eliminating teams after game 31, game 41, game 51, so on and so forth. I've been doing it now for years, which is, you know, stressful if the Islanders are out, but luckily they really haven't been out up until maybe, last year was a little bit of a fluke. But, we're going to watch the Islander game here against St. Louis. And this also has playoff implications for the St. Louis Blues, believe it or not. The Blues are in trouble. So are a couple of other teams in the Western Conference. And here's one of the reasons why we can actually eliminate teams after 10 games. You go back, I can go back now 7 years. This is my seventh or eighth year doing it. The stats are there. Any team with 8 points or less after their first 10 games have not reached the playoffs. Let me say that again. For the last 6 or 7 years, for as long as I've been doing this, any team after 10 games, if they have 8 points or less, they miss the playoffs. The only exception would be the Nashville Predators, I think 7 years ago, when they had 14 teams The Nashville Predators had 8 points and they made it to the playoffs. Once the Western Conference expanded to 15, no team with 8 points after their first 10 games have made it to the playoffs. How can you disagree? You didn't even do the math, Matthew. Look at this. I'm going to put you on the spot right here. Did you do the math? No. Did you actually look at the standings after each 10 games? No. Stop it. Okay. This is where, as Islander fans at least, and anyone else here, rooting for their teams, if you hit above that 8 point mark, you're good probably for another 10 to 20 games. But we'll go over the Eastern Conference after the first. We'll do the Western Conference. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, see, this is the problem. This is the general mindset. 10 games is too early. It's not. Why do you think right now St. Louis has Armstrong? Why does he have Armstrong? Going into the Blues locker room, trying to give him a pep talk. Because the Blues are on the verge. But we have to see how the Western Conference is going to play out. The Western Conference is very, very shaky right now. They're going to be a tough one to predict. But as of right now, any team with 8 points or less after 10 games, they haven't made it. The Blues could be the exception. The Blues could be the exception this year. We'll find out. Obviously, injuries will play a toll from games, say, 10 to 30. Anyone who gets injured or plagued. The Buffalo Sabres, they finished up with like 17 points in their first 10 games. When was that back in? Hold on. They actually have that. Let me see here. Yeah, the Sabres had 17 points back in 2019 and 20. First year of COVID. They missed the playoffs. Okay. But any team with 8 points or less in their first 10 games have missed the playoffs. That's why this is so much fun with me. We get to absolutely ruin a couple of teams tonight. And let me tell you something. That Atlantic Division, there's a lot of drama going on. And more than some people may realize. And we're going to get into those stats as the night progresses. We'll be watching the game here. We'll be taking your questions. Any other team we can talk about. This is, pretty much an NHL show tonight as well, not just the Islanders. This is going to be a ton of fun. And, normally I'm not into drama, but the Islanders are not into drama right now. There are other fan bases that should absolutely be worried. There's my man. There, Tarasenko at the deadline. Well, Dave, I'm not going to lie. Let's see what the next two games do for the Blues. The Blues, I got to start winning. There's just no doubt about it. The Blues have to win this game as early as it is. It's a must win. It's a must win. Again, the Western Conference is a little different because they just got to 16. But boys and girls, for those of you who don't know, I believe it was Elliot Friedman who said Vancouver and the Islanders have been talking. There's a reason for that. It's because, as we'll find out probably in that second intermission, the Vancouver Canucks are one of those teams who didn't do so well in their first 10 games. There's a lot of big connections here when you actually play the percentages correctly. So game has started. I am on a little bit of a delay here. I'm on the internet here. Of course, I live in Pennsylvania. So for me, the game's a little bit more on the delay. So, give me your thoughts on the Islanders season so far. Who stood out for you? Who did you like so far? Me personally, I've enjoyed Wallstrom. Wallstrom has shown not so much a 180, but he has shown a lot of growth. A lot of growth. Oh, yeah. No. Joe and I both think Tarasenko will be an Islander. Oh, yeah. No, I'm still pushing for Tarasenko. Joe and I are both. I can speak for Joe. Yeah, I can speak for Joe. He and I both still want Tarasenko in the worst way. So we've been wanting him now for like the last 2 or 3 years. We are guilty. No doubt about it. Northwest New York. No, Northwest New York is like Rochester and Buffalo, Sean. Knock it off. We are barely in upstate New York. We are considered upstate New York. So, what do you mean careful with the price? If the Blues miss the playoffs, y- I don't know why would I don't know if I would give, a first rounder for a rental unless it's a sign and trade. That's a different story, but we'll get into that later on. We'll get into that later on. But yes, I am guilty. There's no doubt about it. Joe and I have been wanting Vladimir Tarasenko now for years, not just months, years. So, um, yeah, this is a Blues team that absolutely needs to win this game. There's no doubt about it. The Islanders right now, they're riding a good streak. St. Louis has lost five. Here's another little tidbit, boys and girls. I have found that usually when a team loses 7 in a row, they don't make the playoffs. And again, St. Louis it's a little iffy with me because it's so early. This is the point where it's early in the season, but I don't know any other Western Conference teams that are going to be stepping up, shall we say, to take St. Louis out of a playoff spot. Um, you have Vegas. Vegas definitely took over. Yeah, yeah, this is absolutely this I agree with. This is a dangerous game. This is a dangerous game. Sean, I'm with you here on this one. They're playing fast and desperate. They have to. They absolutely have to. And this is what we were talking about before, despite, the naysayers. The Blues need to get over 8 points. They have to. So they can take a point here with the Islanders. And if they win their next game, they've got 9 points. They're good. Okay. The Colorado Avalanche ended up with 9 points in their first 10 games last year and they won the cup. But for whatever reason, that number eight number, that magic number ruins teams for the playoffs. And it goes back now 7 years. So what do I think of the Sezikis hit, and was the suspension worthy? He didn't get suspended. He got fined. You're not supposed to hit the goalie at all for the most part. I don't think it was intentional. Um, he was making a move towards the net. Um, you know, but I think it was more of the NHL sending a message of this has to stop. So he wasn't suspended. He was just fined. Okay, message delivered. So that's what I think on the Sezikis hit. It's for other teams to know that yes, this is going to happen if you continue to collide with goalies. So it's more for the safety of the goalies, whether they're in the crease or out of the crease. You have to stay away from the goalies. Matthew, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. They're too talented. I'm going to put the Predators in here. The Predators should not be doing as bad as they have been. The West is an absolute mess right now. An absolute mess. And again, I'm on a little bit of a delay because I'm on the internet here. So if you guys want to put up um, if you guys want to put up the scores, that's fine. I have no problem with that. The Knights are up 4-1 against the Senators. That is going to have an implication on the Senators. We'll get into that at the end of the first intermission. But thank you, Randy, for the updates on the scores. Yeah, that was like retaliation. And again, something should have happened. You're not wrong, Dave. If they're here to protect the goalies, it's got to work both ways. So, Randy, I'm not even posting that up. The Flames are not terrible. The Flames are going to be really, really good come playoff time again. And I'm not going to lie. I really want to see the Flames and the Oilers go at it again in the playoffs. I think it's going to be a different scenario. I think the Flames can take out Edmonton, but again, there's a lot of time. That's a lot of time before that. Right now the Blues are looking good. They do. They really look desperate. They're trying to get that first goal. They're trying to set the tone. Good defensive playing here on the Isles for now. Um, the Isles, they have to absorb this. They have to, wait for St. Louis to make that first mistake, hopefully. So, yeah, it's hockey talk here on Isles Talk. We're talking NHL teams. We're going to be talking playoff implications here. We're going to be talking about the Islanders themselves. My name is Paul Kreischer. I'm your host for this evening. Again, Gary and Joe will not be around. We have an update here. 1-0 Bruins over the Rags. The Rangers, again, we'll talk about the Bruins, but I will say this now. The Bruins did us all dirty. The Bruins did us all dirty. Beautiful save by Sorokin. Oh. Yeah, the Bruins did us all dirty. There's no question about it. But I will go along here and say that if the Vegas if the Vegas Golden Knights do defeat the Ottawa Senators, I'm also going to put the Senators in that category of being eliminated from playoff contention. Because and again, that's not going to be on the faults of the Senators. I thought they were going to be much better. Well, they are much better than their record indicates, but right now, the Senators can blame the Bruins. It's just, whoa. Bruins doing everyone dirty right now. Yeah, absolutely dirty. So grab your drinks, grab whatever snack you want. It's hockey time. We're watching the Blues and Islanders right here. And for those of you at home, if you're watching your favorite team, by all means, 1-0 Hurricanes. The Hurricanes are another team I'm watching tonight. I think if the Hurricanes win their game, I think it is a safe bet to put the Hurricanes and the Bruins in the playoffs already. You can do that. Again, when it comes to the top teams, unless they get hit with a plague, they should make the playoffs. But I don't try to put the top teams in the playoffs yet. I just don't do it. I like to eliminate teams from the bottom and work my way up. And you can actually do it by the 10-game mark. And as I will be discussing again later on, any team over the last 7 years with 8 points or less after playing their first 10 games have not made the playoffs. So this is just a fun little stat to go over. I enjoy doing it because the Islanders are well over it. We got a couple of teams right now who are in some serious trouble. And we're also going to talk about teams who have made 10 points or more. Looking at you, Leaf fans. So is Brendan Keefe getting fired? I hope not. I don't think it's his fault. I honestly think the Leafs need to get grittier. They need to be meaner. Their star players really need to get nasty. In all honesty, what the Leafs really need is a Clark Gillies. That's what they need. Even a Bob Nystrom. They need more grit. They need more sandpaper, to go along with some of that key scoring moments. Randy thinks Sheldon Keefe's getting fired. I don't know. 1-1 Tampa now with Carolina. That's going to be a great game. Can't wait to see that. Or at least some of the replays on that. Yeah. Toronto's going to be a mess. We're going to talk about them during the intermission. Well, we can talk about them now too. Toronto is a mess, believe it or not. If Buffalo stays healthy, Toronto's in trouble. Let's just put it out there right now. 1-0 Habs. 1-0 Montreal. Good for them. Who does Montreal have tonight? I'm looking at it. Oh, it evaded me. Okay. So yeah, if the Buffalo Sabres stay healthy, the Toronto Maple Leafs are in some deep trouble. And I'm going to go another step further, and we'll talk about them a little later on. The New Jersey Devils. If the New Jersey Devils stay healthy, folks, I'm thinking the Devils are for real. Yeah. Um, oh, the Jets. Okay, that's a big game. There's always pressure in Toronto. There's always pressure in Toronto. Think about it. Toronto's the only original six team, if I'm not mistaken, to not win a modern day cup. Oh, here we go. Yep, I'm a little bit behind the eight ball here. So again, I got the streaming going on. Apparently, St. Louis is about to score. That's fine for now. Let's see what happens here. Keeps it in the point. Oh yeah. Oh, and guess who scored? Gee, and you guys wonder why I want him on the team, huh? Hmm. Yeah, that's just a bad bounce. Bad bounce, good positioning on Tarasenko, and you know, again, of all the people, the one guy who does not want to play in St. Louis right now, and he's the one that scores. Good on him. That almost looked like a pass. Not gonna lie, that almost looked like a pass. Good play. That's why I want Tarasenko. That's why Joe wants Tarasenko. Let's see how the Islanders respond. We'll go from there. So there we go. A little feistiness. Nothing wrong with that. I'm all right. I'm all right with this. So again, welcome everyone to Isles Talk, the Islanders watch party here tonight. We're going to be going over the impact of teams after they've played their 10-game mark here, and we're going to be going over the Islanders and St. Louis Blues. Um, Blues pretty much have to win this game. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. I'm not rooting for St. Louis, but you know this this is a playoff game. This has to be a playoff game, and the Blues have to win. There's no doubt about it. If the Islanders can just keep up the pace, they still have a chance to win this game. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, 7-3 Blues on the yeah, again, I'm not surprised by that. I'm almost never surprised when the Islanders get outshot. I'm just not. Oop, sorry guys. So I know, I know, I know. It's bad. Everyone's copying that song. I don't know why. I don't know why. So Brock Nelson finally came back. A little late in October, but at least he came back. Um, I'm starting to see the shots. I don't like the Islanders when they shoot from the perimeter. It just it doesn't work. If you're going to do a wrist shot, don't do a wrist shot on the perimeter. Do a slap shot. Get that puck deeper in. Try to go for a deflection or whatnot. You got to get into the dirty areas with St. Louis. St. Louis may just be an older version of the Islanders too. You got to get that puck in, and you got to get those garbage goals, or play like just that Tarasenko just did. You got to get in there in the dirty areas. Again, for those of you watching, welcome to the Isles Talk watch party. We are watching the New York Islanders against the St. Louis Blues, and we're going to be talking about the impact of teams after 10 games. So, uh, Stay tuned for that during the first intermission. Right now, the St. Louis Blues are up 1-0. And yeah, we'll take Reindeer fans if we have to. That's fine. I'm still waiting for the younger players to score, but that's just me. Probably Joe too. So I still like the Flames. Flames are good. If you guys got any questions on any other teams or any other teams you're worried about, you guys want to talk about Bridgeport, we can talk about Bridgeport. Any questions you guys have tonight, the stage is all yours. Good save by Bennington there. Good Lord. He came to play. He definitely came to play. The Blues have to get 3 points in 2 games. They just have to. It's imperative. They have to. So, all right, we're on a commercial break here. So, again, the premise heading into the first intermission, and we've got a few more minutes to go on that. Is it possible to eliminate teams after 10 games? Over the last 7 years, yes, it is. Most NHL teams don't go by it. That's fine. Anyone who's in the PR certainly won't do it. They won't buy into it. But any team in the East or the West at this point who have finished with 8 points or less after their first 10 games have not made the playoffs. So that's what we're waiting on right now. We're waiting to see if the Blues can actually come back here. Let's go here. I don't think so. Halak right now, they got to have a better alternative. I'll tell you right now, you cannot play Shesterkin for the entire season. The Rangers are going to fade out by January. They have to get their younger kids scoring, their younger players scoring, and Halak needs to find the fountain of youth. Because if the Rangers decide to pull a Martin Brodeur and play Shesterkin for the entire season, they're going to get burnt out. The Rangers will be burnt out, and it'll be a first-round collapse by the Rangers. They just can't compete with that. They can't. 2-1 Tampa over Carolina. I'm waiting on Carolina to see if they can rack up a win. So yeah, Halak is my biggest concern in the New York Rangers. But again, I'm also waiting for the kids to take over. I'm waiting for those younger players, Lafreniere, for example, to really blossom, take over, start scoring the goals. It's something that we've seen this year. We've seen Matt Barzal improve. We've heard Oliver Wahlstrom's name called a little bit more. We've heard Anthony Beauvillier a little bit more. We haven't really heard anything from the Rangers kids. We keep hearing Zibanejad. We keep hearing Kreider. It's all the same names, but again, the key is going to be Shesterkin. If you're going to continue to play him every game, the Rangers are going to fade. And the Blues are going, tripping penalty. Lovely. And that's on Oliver Wahlstrom. It's just a lazy play. Tripping is always one of the laziest plays. Always. What do you guys think of the advertisements on the boards? Have you been able to follow it? Are you getting a little aggravated with it? Give me your thoughts on that. So far, they're not too bad here. Sometimes they've just been god awful, but so far so good. It looks like they're trying to get control of that. Yeah, get into the game and not into the box. Oh, that was not a good shot by the Blues. Good block. This honestly has the feel of a playoff game. Sorokin's bailed out the Islanders a couple of times. This score probably could have been 2-0 minimum. But that's why Sorokin's here. That's why Sorokin's one of the best, if not the best, goalie in the league right now. So, you know, the Blues know what's at stake. They do. I don't know if the Islanders look slow. I know where you're getting at, Matt. I don't know if the Islanders look slow or if the Blues are really just trying to take this game over. The Blues are absolutely playing with desperation, and they're playing with speed right now. They're trying to take the Islanders out now. Um, are the Islanders having a tough time trying to compensate? Probably. Here we go. 1-1 Washington and Detroit. Detroit's another team I'm watching. I don't know if Detroit's going to be able to make the playoffs, but we'll see what happens. Oh, give me your guys' thoughts on Romanov. How do you like him so far? I like him. I think he's adjusting okay. 2-1 Lightning over the Canes. For me, the Carolina Hurricanes are starting to remind me of the San Jose Sharks. Great in the regular season. Last year they were decent in the playoffs, but they should have beaten the Rangers. We'll see. Blues keeping it in. The Blues just remind me of a little faster pace New York Islander team. I think the Islanders will get there at some point. And I don't think the Islanders are done making moves. I think you're going to see that as the season progresses. And for those of you who don't know, the general theme that us here at Isles Talk have thought about is that this team reminds us of the 2000 Devils. Oh, Barzell almost had that one. The 2000 Devils. This Islander team is already playoff tested, Eastern Conference Finals. Could it be a last run here this year? Maybe. But you also have a flair of the 2002 season where you got a bunch of kids in Bridgeport who could be like that next Trent Hunter to help this team get up and over. So we've been sticking with that theme for right now. And, as many of you know, that was the year where the Devils acquired Alexander Mogilny and Vladimir Malakhov for that playoff run. So, that's where we're going here at Isles Talk. We're going back to the 2000 Devils. And we got an injury on the ice. Romanov reminds me of Boychuk with his physical play. Yeah, no, I agree. I like that physicality. Oh, that's Barbashev? Oh, that's not good. The Blues cannot lose Barbashev. Oh, boy. That's going to be a tough. All right, he's skating off on his own. Could just be a skate, maybe, ankle. Ooh. Oh, good shot by Bailey. Barzell almost buried that. Oh. Good plays. That's what the Islanders need to do. They need to get in that crease. Well, not in the crease, but surround that goalie, get that garbage goal. That's what they need to do. That's how they're going to win this game. Yep, I agree here. Yeah, they sustained that little push by the Blues, and the Blues did get that goal, but The Islanders are far from out of it. Yeah, the back of his knee that didn't look good. If the Blues lose Barbashev for any extended time, that won't be good. But he'll probably be back at this game. Alexander Ovechkin, Ty Gordie Howe, good for him. Does Ovechkin beat Gretzky's record? Does he surpass Gretzky's record? Yes or no? What do you guys think? I got a yes. We got one yes. Does Ovechkin catch up to Gretzky? Does he beat Gretzky's record? I think he can if he can stay healthy. Thomas says no. That's okay. It's an open-ended question. Bill Brady goes yes. Oh, Sean. I think he leaves Washington to do it. I don't know, man. That would be interesting. That would be heartbreaking for Washington, too. Matthew also goes yes if he stays healthy. Yeah, the health's the big one. Health is definitely the big one. And I hope he gets it. I hope he does. That's growing up, Gretzky's records were never to be broken. So, there's even a chance. I think Ovi's got to go for it. Oh, follow the puck. For those of you just joining us, welcome to the Islanders watch party here at Isles Talk. My name's Paul Kreischer. I'm your host for this evening, and unfortunately, you are only stuck with me tonight. Gary and Joe, oh my God, was that a gorgeous save? Oh my God. Thank you, hockey gods. Yeah, go ahead, young one. Keep looking at that screen. Wow. Wow. And I had the sound off because of YouTube. My goodness. That, boys and girls, was probably the save of the year. Save of the year. Oh, no lie. I get a groin strain every time Sorokin does that split. Oh my God. Maybe he goes to Edmonton? Wouldn't that be something? Doubtful. I think he'll do it as a Capital. If the Capitals are not going to win the Stanley Cup anytime soon, you got to have a record. You got to have him there to fill the seats. Now, see, I can't imagine it. I can't imagine him going to the Oilers. Just can't. He's got to do it as a Capital. Yeah, I know. Every time he does a save like that, I just pull. My groin's pulled. Oh, it's in pain. How can the Oilers afford Ovi? Well, I mean, the cap's going to go up close to $10 million anyway. So, Capitals could probably pull something off. Oh, there's no question here, Jim. Darren Pang? Yeah. That's a save even Darren Pang has to be appreciative. That's a good on him. Absolutely. So, I've got about 3 minutes 20 seconds to go left in this game. Left in this period, excuse me. And after that, we're going to get into elimination round of sorts after 10 games in the NHL for most, if not all, of these teams. I am going to need an update on Vegas and Ottawa at some point. Oh, so close. Okay, so I'm about a minute behind. That's about right for the internet. That's what happens when you live outside of the metropolitan area. I can't even talk tonight. And again, if the Islanders score, by all means, say it in the chat room. That's fine. No worries here. No, for me right now, as long as the Islanders don't give up another goal, uh, and they weather this storm by the Blues, I'm all right for the next. I think the Islanders are going to be okay. Is it really 5-2 Vegas? Yeah, yep. It's time to put the Ottawa Senators in that category then, and that's a shame because I think the Sens are better than that record indicates. Oh, that's a tough one. Even if the Senators racked up, that replay. Oh, and it was on the line on the goalpost. My goodness. And okay, that's how you stop play. Okay. Yeah, for me, even if the Senators racked up another point, 9, even 9, I would have given them a little more leeway. I mean, the chances of them making the playoffs at this point, I don't want to say we're 0, but man, Boston did us all dirty. And we'll get into that in a little while. Boston just did us all dirty. 2-2 Tampa tie. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. If you had Carolina in the playoffs, you're going to be happy anyway. So, Tampa Bay. We'll get into the Atlantic, but I think Tampa should be okay. I think it's the Leafs. The Leafs fans need to be worried. And Randy, I'm not here. I'm not picking on you, Randy, specifically. But Leafs fans do have, some concern now, other than their normal drama in Toronto that normally happens. So far, I like the end of this period. The Islanders are, for the most part, good on the possession. They got to work on their passing, obviously, a little bit. Getting it into the zone. All right, I'm all right with this. Again, let me know if this, if the period's over for you guys and it's still 1-0, I can just keep going here. And I can get into this elimination round. How are we looking? We're good? Okay. Better second half. No, I agree, Matthew, right there. Yeah. Better second half. I give credit to the Blues. I give credit to the Blues for coming out and setting the tone. I think that's what they really did here. And they got that one goal. Again, a lucky bounce and Tarasenko with that drill. All right. So, for those of you who have been following this show for a while now, most of you know that I'm really not into drama, which is why doing this early segment over the last couple of years has been a lot of fun for me. Um, I always wanted to know if it was really possible to eliminate a team from playoff contention after 10 games. How early can we actually eliminate a team? And it's like I said at the beginning of the show, it's like a Belmont race for us Islander fans. You get off to a good start, you can pace yourself, and then you go with that strong finish. And at some point, you win the Stanley Cup. Okay, so think of the NHL season as the Belmont race. Okay. Um, for me, I wanted to see the teams that stumbled out of the gate. How soon, when they stumbled, could they miss the playoffs? And again, I've been doing this now. I have it here, stats and all, for the last 7 years, including COVID, the last 7 years. And the one thing that I have always noticed is that any team, especially in the Eastern Conference, let's just go with the Eastern Conference right now. In the Eastern Conference, no team has made the playoffs when they have scored 8 points or less in their first 10 games of the regular season. Nobody. Nobody. And this year, as of this conversation, we now have two teams who have done just that: the Columbus Blue Jackets and now the Ottawa Senators. Some of these teams, again, when we first eliminate, they are kind of like no brainers. Um, the Habs last year, Montreal Canadiens, that was kind of like a no brainer. That kind of happened. The Senators, back in 2021, when they first started off with 3 points in 10 games. Okay. Those were the captain obvious moments. And for me, I was wondering, what was that mark? What was the magic number that we could safely eliminate teams? Um, I, and this is fair. You don't have to eliminate them, but are they both going to miss? Yes, but I think they're going to miss for different reasons here. Okay, and I'm going to give the Senators more credit. Okay, the Columbus Blue Jackets right now are in. Again, when they signed Johnny Gaudreau, I thought it was a great business move. You sign Johnny Gaudreau, you sell a lot of jerseys, you get a bunch of season ticket holders. I thought it was a great business move. I don't think it improved the team that much, if not at all. And most of us did not have Columbus making the playoffs, but we honestly thought they were going to make a legitimate move, maybe into the top eight, in case the hockey gods decided to do, something else. So for me, and that may still happen, but you need to have a better start. So for me right now, the Columbus Blue Jackets don't make it. And again, I will give credit to the Devils. The Devils, the Columbus Blue Jackets, these were teams that were supposed to like really battle each other out for maybe a wild card spot. And the Devils at this point have enough of a lead against Columbus, even Philly, that it's going to be very difficult for Columbus to come back and actually take out 4, 5, 6 teams. There's enough of a stretch here, where I can't see Columbus making the playoffs. And again, that's why I put eliminate in those air quotations here. Um, that's going to be a tough one on Columbus. What do they do now? Okay, so the second team we're going to eliminate, the Ottawa Senators. Unfortunately, they are losing 4-1, I believe, to the Vegas Golden Knights. The Senators are going to finish up their first 10 games with 8 points. Let me just double check on that. And yes, that is going to be 8 points. Uh, I'm not going to lie here. I think the Ottawa Senators are a much better team than their record indicates. They're a much better team. For me, nothing would shock me if the Ottawa Senators turned into last year's Vancouver, where everything just clicked. They went on a roll. I don't know if they're going to do a coaching change, but if things clicked for Ottawa, I could see them getting better, maybe getting 10th place, maybe ninth place. They got to do a lot of winning, but this is a team that's better than their record indicates. But if you really want to put a blame game here for the Ottawa Senators, you're blaming the Boston Bruins, because the Boston Bruins just did everyone dirty. Okay? The Boston Bruins not only are looking like a juggernaut, they're looking like they already secured a playoff spot bearing a plague. 18 points in their first 10 games. Okay? They're The Boston Bruins could be a very big reason why the Ottawa Senators just don't even have a shot anymore. Okay. You have the two Florida teams. I think they're going to come back. The Boston Bruins are right there. The Buffalo Sabres are doing outstanding. The Buffalo Sabres have been through this before. For me, I need to see if the Buffalo Sabres can maintain what they're doing. If they can maintain what they're doing, the Senators just cannot take any shot at the playoffs right now. Um, those are the two teams right now that you can safely eliminate. Again, we're going back 7 years now. Confidence is pretty high on this one. Um, I'm going to go right here. Pasternak is writing his own check. The vibe I'm getting right now is that he's probably going to re-sign in Boston. And believe me, Pasternak is not a bad choice at all. I wouldn't mind taking him either. But Pasternak is going to be the face of the Bruins. And if he re-signs with the Bruins, he's going to be the national spokesperson for Dunkin' Donuts. If he stays in Boston, he's got it made. He does. But what he wants to see is that this team stays competitive. And I think what they're doing right now, he's gonna probably re-sign with Boston. But Matt, I agree. I like Pasternak as an option. And for now, let's leave him as an option for the Islanders. But for my gut goes Boston. No, and don't give up hope. I'm not saying whatsoever. Don't give up hope. Don't keep that hope alive. Pasternak with Barzell, my goodness. Let's look. Oh, come on. That's nothing here. Okay. Now let's get into the drama. Let's get into drama. 5-3 Vegas. Okay. The Ottawa's coming back. Let's get into drama here, boys and girls. Again, over the last 7 years, if there's a team that racks up 10 points, you basically have a 20% chance of making the playoffs. 25% chance of making the playoffs. Okay. We just happen to have 4 teams who finished with 10 points in their first 10 games. They would be the Montreal Canadiens, the Detroit Red Wings, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ta-da! 4 teams, 25% chance. Maybe one of these 4 teams make the playoffs. Okay, so let's have fun with this. Can we eliminate the Habs and the Wings? Maybe. Probably Montreal. Montreal would be the safe bet to eliminate one of those teams. Okay, I think the Wings are going to give a lot of teams fits all season long. I'm not counting the Wings out by a long shot, which leaves you with the Leafs and the Pens, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Okay. The question remains right now, are the Buffalo Sabres for real? If you feel that the Buffalo Sabres are not for real, that they're eventually going to come down from Earth, okay, the Leafs have a shot. But the problem is that you also have the New Jersey Devils. Are the New Jersey Devils for real? There's a lot of people right now. There are a lot of people right now that's saying the Devils are for real. That's not good for Toronto if they're looking for a playoff, a wild card. It's not good in Leafland right now. And yes, there is drama going on. There's always drama going on in Toronto, but now it's magnified. Yes, but I'll go with this, Matt. Let's have an actual hockey conversation. Okay. Are the Devils legit? Some say yes. Some say no, but like you, they're much better. And that's going to be the Leafs' problem. It's going to be a problem for the Leafs. It's going to be a problem for the Penguins because they are much better. For me, this goes back to my racehorse story. Do the Devils have enough stamina to really put the pressure on the Leafs and the Penguins? Same thing with the Sabres. Here's another hot take. Washington misses the playoffs altogether. That's fine. But here's the other issue. A lot of us had Washington missing the playoffs. A lot of people had Washington missing the playoffs. All right. A lot of teams had Boston missing the playoffs. Okay. You had basically, in no particular order, you had Florida, Tampa, the Leafs, and Boston. Boston just leapfrogged you, Leaf fans. Like that's a bad one. And now you have to contend with the Sabres. You have to contend with the Devils. You have to contend with the Islanders, who are making, a legitimate run right now, even after 10. No, I don't think Tampa misses the playoffs. I think Tampa's just going through the motions. And then you have to battle the Penguins, Leafs fans, to possibly get that last playoff spot. If you're not worried about the New Jersey Devils, if you're not worried about the Boston Bruins, I'm sorry, if you're not worried about the Buffalo Sabres, okay, you should be all right. But I'll tell you right now, the stats haven't lied yet. 10 points, you got about a 25% chance of making the playoffs. Ah, there we go. Do the Leafs make the playoffs with their current goaltending? This is just some fun here. And this is what we were talking about with the Rangers. Do the Rangers make the playoffs with Yaroslav Halak as their backup? This is the amount of fun we get to have, boys and girls. Even after 10 games, this is a very tight race, despite the Sens and the Columbus Blue Jackets. There's something to think about here. It's a lot of fun, which is why you always do eliminate, after 10 games. But, you know, you have to have an epic collapse at this point from the Devils and Sabres. It has to be epic, and I can't see the Devils just collapsing. Leafs' problem is not in net. I like this rebuttal. I was a Samsonov fan. I still am to a degree. I'm more concerned with the health of the netminders. Matt Murray can't stay healthy. That's been a knock on him since Pittsburgh. Can the Leafs stay healthy? Can the Leafs get a little more grit? Can they have a little more attitude? Uh, you know, can they get a little feistier? Can Austin Matthews fight his own battles? That's why I said, the Leafs could use someone like a Clark Gillies, a winger who can put up his own fight and, take care of business. I don't know. Oh, Trotz to Toronto next year. I don't know. Does Trotz really want to go into that kind of pressure? That's a lot of pressure. That would be the ultimate pressure. Does Toronto really want to play that kind of defensive style? If that's the case, they probably should have stayed with Lou Lamoriello as their GM. I don't think so. So it's nice. It is nice if Trotz wants to take a shot at it, but man, that's a tough one, even for Trotz. And I get it. He wants the original six. Goalies is the Leafs issue. They're screwed already at max contracts moves because it's true. It's true. It's going to be very interesting, at least in Leafs land. Let's switch the drama over to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They've lost 5 in a row, 6 in a row. Okay. Again, early in the season, but I haven't seen a team make the playoffs lately after losing 7 in a row. I haven't seen it, boys and girls. A lot of us are waiting for the Pittsburgh Penguins to go on their annual 7, 8, 9, 10 game winning streak, and then they coast into the playoffs. I don't know if we're going to see that. They're 4-5-2 right now. Again, if they go to 4-7-2, I don't know. There's the younger teams are really going to give the Capitals, the Penguins, the Leafs a lot of trouble right now. Look at what the Devils did to the Islanders. Okay, the Islanders need to fix that defensive system when they're playing a younger, faster team. No, there's no doubt about it. They have an excellent coach, and they do. They really do. Um, you know, again, I'm waiting for Pittsburgh. I have more faith right now in Pittsburgh, winning 5, 6, 7 games in a row than I do Toronto, just at the moment. Who scored both the tying and winning goal to make Al Arbor a winner for the 740th time? I think that was Miro Sertan, wasn't it? I think Miro Sertan tied it. I think Trent Hunter scored the game winner. That's the Cadillac trivia question right there. Yeah, Miro Sertan, I think, scored, and I think Trent Hunter with the game winner. Or I think Sertan scored both. One of the two, something like that. Miro Sertan was involved. So, give me your thoughts on the first period, guys. We kind of talked about it before, but give me your thoughts on the first period. Oh, we got a goal. Hold on. Palmieri, there we go. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, again, I'm about a minute behind. I'm on the internet streaming. Northeast New Jersey, upstate New York, depending on where you are. Oh, good Lord. Oh, that's a goal. That's a beautiful goal. Mike, that's what I was talking about, boys and girls. That's what I was talking about. Getting that slap shot from the perimeter, getting someone to deflect it, getting those garbage goals. That's how you beat the Blues. That's exactly what I wanted. Someone listens to me, finally, huh? No, gorgeous play by Palmieri. You had at least 2 or 3 guys in there. I guess they must have talked about that, in the locker room. Let's see here. Yeah, you got 2 guys right there. Pageau and Palmieri right there to pounce on that puck. That's what you needed. That's just a beautiful play by the Islanders, and we go 1-1. Cheers. Randy says all Blues. I think Randy's trying to piss me off because I did a little poo-poo on the Leafs. So Randy and I will have a spirited conversation later. I think all the lines are gelling nicely, Jim. I like this. I think all the lines are gelling nicely. We're starting to see something here, and that's the other question: do the Islanders really need to make a trade now? No, no, they don't. Need again with what Matthew had said before, 20 games. That's when you really start looking at the standings. I personally start looking at the standings around 15 just to get the numbers in, but you really don't have to look at the standings until 15, 20. So, yeah, the Western Conference is going to be a lot of fun here and during the second intermission, boys and girls. No doubt about it. For those of you just joining us, welcome to the Islanders Watch Party here at Isles Talk. My name is Paul Kreischer. I'm your host for this evening. We are watching the Islanders against the St. Louis Blues, who desperately need to win this game. Not the Islanders, the Blues. Desperately need to win this game. And again, Sean, I like what you did before. If there is an Islander goal, use that little goal. Use that little goal emoji there. I like that. Or any of you guys, use that goal emoji whenever the Islanders score. I like that. That'll give me a good signal that we got, the Islanders have a goal coming. And when St. Louis scores, you can use your own words in that one. That's fine. I'll still get the hint. Ah. But no, the Blues and the Islanders to me, they look the same. They're both playing the same kind of game right now. I think St. Louis is just under more pressure because this if there was ever a year to be desperate, it's St. Louis because this is it for them. Tarasenko's not coming back. Let's just get that out of the way right now. Vladimir Tarasenko is not coming back. Ryan O'Reilly probably will, but you lose someone like Tarasenko, St. Louis is not as dominant as they have been in the past. You've got a team like Dallas, you've got a team like Minnesota. Oh, that's a tripping penalty. And you have Colorado and you have Calgary. This is going to be a very tough time for St. Louis to get back in it. Um, if there was ever a year for St. Louis to win it, it's right now. It's this year, and they know it. They know they have to win these next two games. And again, I'll get into the Western Conference. The Western Conference is a little different because we just got to 16 teams with them. So we'll be able to break it down a little bit better. But yeah, 9 points is usually a safe bet in the Western Conference, believe it or not. 9 points is safe. 8 so far is not. But again, this is like year 2 in a row now. The second year where we have 16 teams. So we'll go from there. I'm a little more lenient with the Western Conference for now. But there's definitely drama in the West. Oh, and I saw Kiefer Bellows play last night. He looked okay. Still shooting from the perimeter. Kiefer's got to get closer. He's got to be better on that puck, but we'll see what happens. I do get the Philadelphia stations around here, so I get Philadelphia and New York, just not MSG. Sean lives maybe 30 minutes away from where I am, and he's never invited me. Never. Imagine that. Any other teams you guys want to talk about? Let's have at it. Sean, you live in Walk Hill, right? You're like 35 minutes away from my house. You're an easy drive. Oh, Bennington flopped. That wasn't even a decent angel, snow angel. Good Lord. There we go. And now we're talking about it. 5-on-3 Islanders. That's it. Habs up 2-1. All right. Absolutely. I'll come over to visit. Watch a game. And the Islanders on a 5-on-3. This will be interesting. 28 seconds. Round it up. 30 seconds. Why not? If there was ever a time for the Islanders to score, put a little more pressure, now is it. I'm telling you, folks, St. Louis knows the pressure that they're under right now. And believe me, it's that 8 points in 10 games right now. It's in there. There's a reason why Armstrong made that speech with them. They have to get desperate right now. And the Islanders can absolutely suck the life out of them right here. Of course I'm okay with dogs. How many do you have? Oh, where's my horn here? Or is it goal from St. Louis? Don't do that to me. No, Bennington has been really good. Bennington has been really good, no doubt there. Absolutely. Ooh. No. Do I have to show you everything? There it is, Matthew. That's what I wanted to see. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful goal right there. Brock Nelson is extending Brocktober right into Brovember, I guess we can call it. I don't know. But Brock Nelson makes it 2-1, and I'm telling you guys right now, part of me wants to hit up DraftKings right now. Well, not right now, after this game, and just see where St. Louis is. And if you don't think other general managers don't know what I'm talking about, they do. They really do. Oh, look at that. That's tic-tac-toe. Oh, that's just not even right. That was a thing of beauty. Brovember, I can go along with that. Okay. All right, Matthew, you get one. Sean. Yeah. Guys, give me your thoughts on Dauber. Now that Gary's not here to praise him, give me your thoughts on Dauber. Again, I know we'll deal with the Rags fan. We'll deal with her. Let's Dauber. Dauber's going to win that Norris at some point. He really is. He's going to win the Norris Trophy. He's going to be. I honestly think Noah Dobson's going to be the next centerman. Here we go. Come on, Randy. Randy's not happy with me right now. Yeah, I'm going to go along with that. Yeah, I think Dobson. I think he's the future captain of the Islanders. At some point, Barzy may take captain at some point, but I think Dobson will certainly get an A. I think Dobson will eventually be a captain. I think Dobson can win the Norris. But all right, let's tackle this. She'll make fish sticks. That's fine. I eat fish sticks. That's fine. Yeah, I really do love Dauber. I can't begin to tell you how excited I was in 2018 when literally we had Wallstrom and Dobson literally just fall in our laps at that draft. And let's get with Kenny here real quick. Wish Barzy would shoot more. Goalies have no of him shooting on power play. That's because they're expecting him to pass. That's it. They know he's a pass first guy. They know it. It's like a southpaw. He's going to hit you left until he comes up with the right. It's just the way it goes. Yeah, I do like Dauber. I like Dobson and Romanoff as a pair right now. I think they're going to get better as the year goes on. Once they really learn each other's moves, they get that chemistry, they get that trust. As a defensive pair, I think you're going to see improved numbers, especially from Romanoff. Especially from Romanoff. So I think Dobson has a very big, bright future, much brighter than people may realize. 1-0 Kraken. Who are the Kraken playing tonight? I forgot about them. And we will talk about them. Oh, they got Minnesota. Wow, good for them. Ah, yes. Samuel Bolduc looks like Dobson. I will tell you right now, if there is a defenseman that I am really excited for, it's Samuel Bolduc. It really is, guys. I've seen him play now enough times. I've been to Bridgeport. I've been to Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. I've been to Lehigh Valley. Haven't seen him in Hartford yet, but there's enough of him right now that I'm confident that I'm excited for him. I really am. He's putting everything together right now. I don't want him brought up. I don't want Samuel Bolduc brought up. I don't want Ishkakov brought up yet. I'm that type of fan that I would prefer them staying as long as possible in Bridgeport, like more than ready, so that way when they do come up, they never get sent back down. That has always been me as a fan, and for those of you who I've been friends with for all these years, you know that's me. Um, oh, hello there, Bailey with a goal. I can't wait. Let's do it. Oh, look at that! See, Barzell pass for. Oh, what a sweet move by Bailey. My goodness, what a sweet move by Bailey. That's just gorgeous. Yep, start singing a song, boys. But then again, don't sing the song. You guys can't sing. I know you guys can't sing. Don't do it. Even you Irish guys can't sing. Forget it. That's why you drink so much. You actually think you can sing. Don't, you Irish guys don't sing. There. Yes, you did. Okay, so um let me see now. Any defensemen get those assists yet? Find out how many points the defensemen have for me, guys, and I'm going to come up with an interesting stat for you because it's the same thing as last year. So for those of you who can find out real quick, find out how many points the defensemen have in scoring for the scoring this year. Obviously we know the forward scored, but any defensemen have assists, points? I think you said Dobson has one. Let me know if anybody else has points. Any defenseman? This is going to be incredible if St. Louis loses this game. Oh, Dobson has 2 points. All right. Keep that in mind, boys and girls. Keep that in mind. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why at the second intermission. Oh, I'll let you know. It's not so much a secret if you've been following the show, especially last year. But you want to know where the Islanders get their scoring from? We're gonna, I'll let you in on that. Matthew, I'm not. Damn, Matthew's on fire tonight. This would be a stunner if we steal this one. I'm not gonna lie. I would be shocked. Happily shocked. Happily shocked. Only because I know this should be a desperate time for the St. Louis. They played desperate for that first half, but man, the Islanders just look. They look better right now. They again. They've got it. They're in sync right now. This is what happens when teams win and they go on the winning streaks, and the losing teams who are on their losing streaks, they just can't get it together. They fight, fight, fight. They're in their own heads, and this is what we're seeing right now. Five four Vegas. Good on Ottawa. Good on Ottawa. I hope I'm wrong. And look, I'll say this now. If the Ottawa Senators get a point, I will retract what I just said during that first intermission. I will retract, and I will keep Ottawa in that playoff hunt. They've earned it. Ottawa has definitely earned it. And I'll say this again. Ottawa's record. Yeah, Ottawa right now, they're better than what their record indicates. No doubt about it. Yeah, this is a big one. Ryan O'Reilly has 1 point. Thomas also struggling. Tarasenko having 4 goals. That's a typical Tarasenko year so far. Just saying. And again, I'll give you guys a little bit of info. what I've been able to find out, so on and so forth about Lou, what he's been doing lately, any kind of phone calls. It's mostly in the Western Conference, to be honest with you. No, nothing with St. Louis at the moment, but we'll go from there. So when this period's over, we'll get into the Western Conference. We'll talk about their 10 game. We'll talk about the teams who could be eliminated after the 10 game mark. And we'll see who the Islanders have been at least in contact with lately. So I know Elliot Friedman. Randy, can you confirm for me, please? Oh, there we go. Randy, can you confirm for me again that Elliot Friedman said in his segment 32 and 32 that Vancouver and the Isles have been talking? Is that true? There we go. Let's watch Lee. We have ourselves another goal coming up. Good save by Sorokin. Good Lord. Beauvillier. Oh, that's just not right. Did Randy leave? Did I piss him off? Anybody can confirm that? Was it Elliot Friedman who said Vancouver's been talking to the Isles? I had heard rumblings of that, but we'll get into that later. No, there's nothing to challenge here. Why are they going to challenge? Oh, wait. There's nothing to challenge. Oh, there's the goal. Yeah, that's in there. Believe it or not, Kenny, I have not eliminated them yet. I have not. And I'll get into the West, but believe it or not, as of right now, Arizona has I can't talk, outlasted quite a few of these other teams. 2 Isles Brass at a Vancouver game. Okay, I will explain why. I wanted to double check on that, and I will tell you guys why. And this goes back into what I have been saying all night so far. But thank you, Jim. That's what I needed to see. And no, I am not drinking any kind of alcohol. It's actually iced tea. But since I'm not sponsored by them, I am not saying what kind of iced tea I'm drinking. 2-0 Kraken. Good for them. No, I can't. No, and the reason why I can't, Kenny, is because they've got 9 games. They've played 9 games so far. They got 7 points. If they can pull out a win, I don't know who they're playing. I think they play tomorrow. If they pull out a win, I don't eliminate them. I don't start again. For those of you who are brand new, I've always played the percentages. I've been doing that point pace. Oh my God, Randy, what's it been? 15 years now? I've always played the percentages. Always, 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 always. I always started to eliminate teams from the playoffs by game 41. It was very easy to do. Usually not wrong. I can't remember the last time I was wrong. It's just the numbers. It's just the way the numbers are spread out. Lately, you can actually start eliminating teams by game 31, and I have fun here with game 10 here. No, it's not Wawa iced tea. That's so messed up, but that is good. Yeah, it is possible to eliminate teams after game 31. That's when things really kick in. And right now, Arizona, well, let's put it this way. Arizona, after their first 10 games last year, they had 1 point. They've got 7 right now. Good one here. Okay. If the Ottawa Senators can continue to win even one game, I don't eliminate this. Did I just say the Senators? No. If the Arizona Coyotes win one game, I won't eliminate them until game 31. They may be done by them before then, but I give every team the respect. You got to get over 8. You get over 8, you're still in. No, 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 no. We have Wawa. Stop that. We have Wawa. Not in Northeast PA, but in Stroudsburg. You need to stop. Sheets is up in Scranton. Okay, you quiet. All right, so let's talk Anders Lee. Let's talk Brock Nelson. Let's talk about these goal scorers right now. Are these players old? Are they really old? Or are they still playing to a system that they've always played for years? This is what they grew up with. Literally. I don't think they're old. Granted, they're 30, but some of them are just turning 30. Yeah, I went to East Stroudsburg University. Well, I finished at East Stroudsburg University. Yeah, you should know there. You should know there's a Sheets up in there too. There's Sheets and Wawa up in that Scranton area. So knock it off. So anyway, for those of you joining us again, welcome to the Isles Talk Islanders Watch Party. I'm your host, Paul Kreischer. Unfortunately, you're only stuck with me tonight and whoever's in the chat room. The Isles are up 4-1 currently in the second period. Roughly 7:37 to go for me. Casey looks a little banged up. I don't know if he's that injured. We were also talking about in the first intermission how you could possibly eliminate teams after the 10-game mark. I know that place. I actually did a little bit of internship there. Yes. I don't know. It was part of the hospital. Yeah. Yeah. At that time, it was still part of the hospital. So, yes, I remember that place. So, small world. Small world. So, Isles are up 4-1. Now we're getting feisty. And again, you this is what you got to see from St. Louis. St. Louis has got to, some kind of spark. They got to do something. Captain answers the bell. Man, what a statement game. Camelback, yep. Yep, I know that. Yep. The Islanders are making a statement here, gentlemen, boys and girls, ladies, everyone. Right now, I'm asking myself, do I really have it in me to eliminate the Blues tonight? Do I have it in me? And again, I'll let you guys determine that to a degree. The Western Conference has always been a little iffy because they've never had 16 teams. They only had 16 teams, starting last year. But even when they had 15 teams, there's no team with 8 points or less in their first 10 games make the playoffs in that 15 team. Okay. I do know Vancouver and the Islanders have been talking. Yeah, Greiss should have played to begin with. I forgot Thomas Greiss was on this team. Shame on me. Shame on me. I love Thomas Greiss. Always have. They should have played Thomas Greiss. Oh, they didn't pull him yet? Oh, okay. Why didn't Thomas Greiss play the Islanders? Of all the players, of all the goalies, there he is. Of all the goalies, he should have played against the Islanders tonight. No one knows that. No one knows the Islanders better than Thomas Greiss at this point. Gentlemen, I'm ready to eliminate the St. Louis Blues just for fun. I mean, they're not even in my conference. We're not playing them unless it's in the Stanley Cup playoffs, but you know, and we'll go over the Western Conference in a few minutes, but I man, it's tough because this is game number 9 for the Blues. So even if they win their next game, they have 8 points in 10 games. We'll go over the standings for a little bit, through that first 10 games, and we'll talk about the other teams. Uh, that's a hot mess right now in the West. Really is. 2-1 Detroit. I like this. 2-1 Detroit over the Caps. If you're an Isles fan, that's what you want. And you want this. 2-1 Bruins over the Rangers so far. Thank you, Thomas Boyle. Thank you, Randy Workman. 3-0 Kraken. We got to talk Kraken too here, boys. Just general hockey talk. Who's going to replace the Nashville Predators? Well, that was easy. Vegas Golden Knights. That's number one. Who's going to replace the St. Louis Blues? Like, we're actually having this conversation on November 3rd. I didn't think we'd be having this conversation. Yeah. No, we look good, Mark. Yeah, let's make no mistake here, boys and girls. The Islanders look good. The Islanders look good. They look fine for right now. What this means right now for the Islanders after 10 games, Lou has enough time right now to look into game 30, into game 40. And right now, it appears that Lou gets to make a decision on whether or not he wants to make a trade and make a run at the Stanley Cup, a la 2000 Devils, or he stands pat with the kids. I'm sorry, he stands pat with the team, and he brings up the kids if needed, a la 2002 Islanders. This is why I have the 2000 Devils in my head with a theme this year, along with Gary and Joe. They both agree with this. And this brings up a good point. The year they won the Cup, the Blues weren't they were dead last in the league. Yes, but when did the Blues win the Stanley Cup? Was it 17-18? 17-18, right? The Blues had 15 points in their first 10 games. 16-17, they had 12 points in their first 10. FanDuel, the over is 7.5. Oh, boy. Fox scores 2-2. Rangers and Bruins. Who are we targeting in Vancouver? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in about 4 minutes for you guys. I can tell you right now, nothing would shock me if the Isles had already talked to the Sharks. Uh-oh, what am I getting ready for? Oh, no. You guys are adding drama to my show here. That's not nice. Don't even tell me Tarasenko gets another goal. Damn it. I already saw the play coming up. Damn you, Tarasenko. Damn it. I knew it. Yeah, you could challenge that. Oh, it's Nick Leddy of all people. All right. Oh, Was that a hand? Oh, is he got the puck stuck? I hope that's just he got the puck stuck. Got to challenge that. Too much dirtiness in there. Okay, he's not getting crashed. Oh yeah. Um. Yeah, Bailey's not. I don't know. I don't know. Can you challenge that? Maybe. Don't know. We'll see if it's a challenge. It's a dirty. That's a dirty, grimy. That's how you got to beat Sorokin. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah, that. Ooh. Goal never crossed the. Okay. Oh, is it covered? Are they? Ooh, I don't know. Oh no, that could be goalie interference. Oh yeah, Barbashev, maybe. Bruins score 3-2. Thank you, Randy Workman. You're back on my good side. I'm still on Randy's bad side, by the way. Randy will yell at me later on. Yeah, Barbashev did some dirty there. That happens. Detroit won? Good for them. Who did Detroit beat? Yeah, I had a feeling. Oh, boy, this is taking a while. This might get overturned. This is taking a while. Oh, that's right. The Wings were over the Detroit beat the Capitals, right? Yeah, we're gonna need that. Oh, hand pass. Oh, good call there on the coach if he's right on that. Canes tie at 3-3. Big game. No goal. Big one. Big one here, boys. Yeah, they were taking too long. They were taking too long. That's what happens. Oh, make or break. Make or break here for the Blues. Really, seriously. Goalie interference. Yeah. I think it was on Barbashev. Definitely Barbashev. Wow. That's big. Wow. Wow. That can be deflating. And we got another period to go. Yes. I agree with that, Kenny. Wow. That's a big one. And the score remains 4-1 Islanders. For those of you just joining in, welcome to the Islanders watch party here on Isles Talk. My name is Paul Kreischer, your host for this evening. Unfortunately, you're just stuck with me tonight. Gary and Joe will be back at some point. They have some family things to deal with, and Gary's on the injured list for just a little while. He'll probably be back next week. During the first intermission, we talked about the Eastern Conference teams. Columbus Blue Jackets are eliminated from playoff contention here. And it's looking like right now, if the Ottawa Senators lose tonight to the Vegas Golden Knights, they too can also be eliminated from the playoff contention. No, I am not putting that up there. No, there's no pancakes. You got the wrong person. Definitely the wrong person. I love IHOP, but no, that's not right. And he's not here right now, so stop it. Mind your business about that bet, too. So coming up in the second intermission, we're going to talk about the Western Conference, what teams are probably eliminated, who could take the place of the St. Louis Blues and the Nashville Predators. Again, the West is all messed up right now. There's no doubt about it. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, no, IHOP for sure. Yeah. There's one in Middletown. On the other side of Middletown, New York, there's one by me, by my work on Dulcin Avenue. She should know where that is. Do we have a penalty or no? Looked like we did. Oh, Dobson. Crap. Tell you what do you guys think of the Islanders penalty killing? Like it's just been absolutely phenomenal this year. What are they at, 95%? There you go. Get to the puck, kill off some time here. 3 minutes to go for me. I don't know how many minutes you guys have to go. Also coming up in the second intermission, we're going to talk about the Islanders and who they've probably been talking to lately. Other teams out west. We'll have a little fun with that. But make no mistake, I can tell you right now, the Islanders have been taking phone calls. Not making, taking phone calls. Big difference. Yes, Lou is always on the phone. We're going to go beyond that. So, go Oilers and Preds. You're a Calgary fan. How can you do that? Rooting for the Oilers is like rooting for the Rangers on this side. It's not even rooting for the Devils. I swear, he's the only Calgary Flame fan that actually roots for the Oilers every once in a while. He rooted for the Oilers when the Flames and the Oilers were playing in the playoffs last year. He's the only Flame that I know that does that. Granted, he's an original Leaf fan, but man. Yeah, figure out the power play. You know what it is? I think that'll come with time. That'll come with time. And really, I don't care if they figure it out until, it's the playoffs. If they can figure it out in the playoffs, wonderful. This is what I wanted to see. 4-2 Bruins. 4-2 Bruins. That's what you want right now, boys and girls. Isles fans, this is what you want. The Bruins are doing everyone dirty right now. Dirty. Oh, good. Oh, that was almost a goal. Yep, stopping play. Yeah, St. Louis St. Louis, they know it, man. They know their season's in jeopardy right here. And the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying that St. Louis knows that their season's in jeopardy is because going back 7 years now, no team in the Western Conference, or 6 years for the Western Conference, since there's been a 15-team Western Conference, no team has made the playoffs when scoring 8 points in their first 10 games. St. Louis right now currently has 6 points in 8 games. They need to win they need to get either a point or two tonight. They need 3 points in 2 games, essentially. And if they don't, we'll talk about that. We got intermission? Beautiful. Okay. I got about 30 seconds left here, but let's get into, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Western Conference. Okay. Currently, you have 6 teams. 6 teams with 7 points or less in their first 10 games. The Predators had 7. The Canucks with 6. The Ducks with 6. The Sharks with 4. Again, the Blues are currently at 6, but if they lose to the Islanders tonight, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to eliminate the St. Louis Blues. The Arizona Coyotes, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for the Arizona Coyotes to get at least 2 points, get one more win before their 10th one. If not, this conference just turned into a 10-team conference. This whole conference just went to a 10-team conference. Now, in the Western Conference, you can have 9 points and still make the playoffs. See the Kings last year. Hello, Colorado Avalanche. You can do that. But 8, nothing. So, for those of you who know, Vancouver and the Islanders have been talking. Well, this is why. Vancouver, 6 points in their first 10 games. Not doing much. Vancouver needs a change. I can tell you right now, the Islanders have already contacted San Jose. That was probably a little while ago. If not, that's old news at this point. It's because the Sharks had 4 points in 10 games. Okay? It sounds funny, but there's actual meaning to slow starts. And when it's this slow and you basically see your team breaking down, you need to start making plans either for the immediate future or for the future of next season. Okay, so the Islanders talked to the Canucks. Who are they looking at? I have no clue. I wouldn't mind Brock Besner. Brock Besner with Matthew Barzal? Nah, that's not bad, guys. I'll take Brock Besner with Matthew Barzal on that line. Why not? Bo Horvat. I don't think so. That would be one the Isles get back. Because if you remember back when the draft was in New Jersey, they traded their first-round draft pick for Corey Schneider. Corey Schneider was back in Vancouver at that time, and Vancouver drafted Bo Horvat. Who was Horvat supposed to go to? The Islanders. Let's talk about Timo Meier. Is Timo Meier available? He could be. It would. Now, let's talk about Horvat, Besner, Timo Meier. These guys are going to cost a first rounder and probably a little bit of a package. It's going to be costly. Do the Isles really want to give up another first round pick? Unless they're going to sign this player to a contract. Or if there's already a longer contract already in place, like a Timo Meyer. That's a possibility. You bring in a Timo Meyer, folks, you're looking at another longer playoff window. Garland is another good choice. Connor Garland. Maybe. I don't know who the Islanders are actually targeting. That's just, I'm good. I'm not that good. Let's talk about it. We end up with one of Meyer, Tarasenko, or Pasternak, either in a trade or next off season. I agree with that. Timo Meyer, why not get him now? Well, I don't want to say, get him now. I honestly think San Jose is going to take a nice long look at Bridgeport, see who they want, and go from there. Again, Brock Besner, why not? Oh yeah, no, Meyer's the only one off limits, and that's fine. I can go along with that. This is all speculation. This is all speculation. The only thing I can confirm for you guys is that Islanders and San Jose have made phone calls. Okay, that's all I can confirm. Um, you know, Vancouver and the Islanders making phone calls. This is for obvious reasons. Vancouver is on the verge of missing the playoffs as well. Okay. Um, St. Louis, could they open up the phone lines again to the Islanders with Tarasenko? Yeah. Yeah, they could. They could. But let's get back to the West for the moment here. You've got Vegas with 16 points after 10 games. You've got the Oilers with 14. Stars, I don't think they're going anywhere. I think they're in the playoffs. The Minnesota Wild look pretty good. I think when they get their legs together, I think they should make the playoffs. The Winnipeg Jets, for me, I think is the biggest question mark. I don't know if the Jets can maintain what they're doing. The Jets are my only question mark right now. The Flames are in it. The Kings should be in it. And you know what? Let's talk about the Hawks. The Hawks are actually in it as well. They've got 10 points in their first 10 games. Vegas won 5-4. That will officially eliminate the Ottawa Senators for me. 8 points in 10 games just won't cut it. And we'll come back to this at the end of the year. We'll see if the numbers hit correctly. The Hawks, I'll tell you right now, boys and girls, if the Hawks find a way to stay alive, I don't see Patrick Kane or Jonathan Toews getting traded. They won't allow themselves to be traded. They'll make a run for the playoffs. And then you're Chicago. Do you let Patrick Kane walk away for nothing? Me personally, I think you have to trade Patrick Kane, but if you're in a playoff hunt, if you're in a playoff run, you need players now to keep you in that. And you still have the Colorado Avalanche, who again, 9 points, 10 games. I believe the Avs have one more game in hand. Yeah, they have 9 points in 9 games. The Avs need another point. Maybe, but they should be all right. Okay. The Colorado Avalanche just have to get through the Hawks and the Kraken, and they're in the playoffs. The Colorado Avalanche literally just have to coast. They don't have to do anything until the second half of the season. Do the Predators have enough to get past the Kings, the Flames, Colorado. I don't think so. The only team that I can see out west who might actually struggle would be the Winnipeg Jets, and that means you have to go through Hellebuck, Connor Hellebuck. The Preds and the Blues, maybe the Canucks. I don't think so, though. And let's talk about the Seattle Kraken. Seattle's decent this year, boys and girls. The Seattle Kraken are a decent team right now. 35 shots given up by the Ragdolls. Okay. Who's in goal for the Rangers tonight? That I need to know. Carolina, Tampa Bay in OT. Boston looking like they're good right there. It is Shesterkin. Okay. Again, for the Rangers, we're the kids. We haven't really heard the kids. Boston absolutely looks rejuvenated. Boston looks like a juggernaut. So again, Predator fans, Blues fans, Canucks fans, you have a lot to be worried about. The only team that I could actually see slipping right now could be the Winnipeg Jets, and you have to get through Connor Hellebuck, Vezina Trophy winner. The Jets kind of remind me of the New York Rangers. How far are the Jets going to run Hellebuck? But that's only one spot. Vegas basically took over one spot. So you're looking at the Preds or the Blues with any kind of shot to make the playoffs right now. All right. One of those two teams are going to miss the playoffs. I don't think the Canucks are going to do it. So, the Blues right now, missing the playoffs, it's a real good shot. I'm looking at the standings right now. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the first 10 games. I'm not actually looking at the standings. I think the Avs eventually the Avalanche eventually get in. They'll take eighth. They'll take eighth away from the Hawks. And they'll all slowly start moving up. But, where's the room for the Predators? Where's the room for the Blues? There isn't. There isn't. The Vegas Golden Knights literally just took out the Preds or the Blues, just like Boston took out maybe Toronto, maybe Pittsburgh. 1-0 Hawks over the Kings. This is my point, boys and girls. There's a lot of drama heading out west. If the Hawks can make any kind of a season, well, all right, let's have fun. This is why we do this 10 games in. If the Hawks can somehow survive, especially with their goaltending, if they can somehow survive, do you think Patrick Kane requests a trade out of Chicago? I'm going to say no. I think Patrick Kane would absolutely stay and make a legitimate run at the playoffs. One last shot. I think Jonathan Toews would do the same thing. I think the Hawks would like to. I think they would love to trade Patrick Kane for more stuff, for a package. But if the trades are truly on Patrick Kane, I don't think he's going to get traded. Let's stick with the West. How soon does Tarasenko become available? Well, unfortunately for us, Jim, a lot of people don't follow this 8-game this 8 point and 10 game rule. Not necessarily a rule, but they don't play this kind of percentage. I would imagine if Lou does anything, I would see a trade probably in December or January if Tarasenko was available by then. That's just me. If not, you're looking at a trade deadline. But if you're Lou, you're probably looking at a trade somewhere around December or January. He likes to get those trades done before the trade deadline. And believe me, if Tarasenko does become available, the Islanders are in it. Bank on it. Bank on it. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Tarasenko against Panarin, Sorokin against Shesterkin, Fox against Dobson, MSG against UBS. Bring it all on, folks. Bring it all on. Can't wait. Don't ask me who the package is. I don't even know. I'm not even worried about it. I think anyone will make a move for Varlamov off the deadline. Probably not. I think the Islanders are going to keep both. And I think I'm already on record. I would not be shocked if Varlamov signed like a 3-year extension. I think Varlamov's going to sign a 3-year extension, maybe a 2-year. Who knows? But, if he's making $5 million now, he'll probably dip down to $2.5 million, and he'll stay for that 3rd year. Bruins beat the Rangers. What's that final score? 4-2? That's what you want. Boston right now, boys and girls, are so far ahead. You want them beating anyone in the Metro. That's fine. As of right now, the Islanders are probably not going to take first in the conference. Okay? Bearing a plague in Boston, I don't see the Boston Bruins losing that number 1 spot just yet, anytime soon. 5-2. 5-2, Boston over the Rangers. Fox scored, and who else scored for the Fox scored for the Rangers, and who else? Matthew, that overturned goal was huge on so many levels. It may end up being a turning point. It might. It might. In more ways than one. If my numbers hold up correctly and the Blues miss the playoffs, that overturned goal, man, did we just witness history for St. Louis? Yeah. Jimmy Vesey and Adam Fox. Yeah, those are older players. This is what Joe and I have been talking about before, and I'm sure Gary will probably chime in with the same thing. We haven't seen the kids and the New York Rangers score. Yeah, they got points and they got some assists. That's sure. Great. There's no goal scoring from those kids. Where are the goals? If the Rangers are going to survive, they need their kids. Oh, let's get back to the reason why I think the Islanders can probably take this game. Usually, well, as of right now, when the Islanders are leading after 2, they've won every game. Knock on wood. And the stats are right now, I believe. When the Islanders defensemen score 3 points or more, the Islanders have not lost again so far this season. Knock on wood. And I believe the Islanders will be 2-0 or 3-0 with 2 points or more scored by any defenseman, whether it's by the same defenseman, goal and assist, 3 assists, whatever it is. And I was right. It was Miro Sertan. He scored both, tying and the winning goal. So yeah, Miro Sertan. Go me. Cadillac trivia. But yeah, the Rangers, there's no youngins scoring their goals. They're gonna wipe out Shesterkin and they're gonna fade early, by midseason. Rangers have got to get them going. Who's untouchable in a trade for Bridgeport? Jim, I'm probably gonna go Samuel Bolduc. And I'm playing favorites. He's a left-handed defenseman. And I say that now because I don't know if Sebastian Aho is the long-term answer. And there's just something about Robin Salo that's just not sticking with the Isles. I don't know what it is. Samuel Bolduc for me right now is looking like the next left-handed defenseman on this team. Anybody else? I think it's fair game. If Lou is really determined to win a cup, any of these kids could be there. It's time to win the cup now. Am I in favor of trading any of these kids? Probably not. I think at this point for a rental, Simon Holmstrom, 2023 first round pick for Vladimir Tarasenko. Assuming we can sign him to a 6-year deal, 7-year deal, whatever it is. That's fine. I can live with that. Ishkakov. Here's the thing on Ishkakov. He's had a great month. His speed is what's, putting him ahead of all the other players. For right now, and again, for those of you who have been watching this show for a while now, I want to see Ishkakov in the AHL 3 months, 4 months down the road. This is nothing more than a great streak. Okay? I'd rather keep Ishkakov in the minors longer so that way if he does come up to the Islanders, he never goes back to Bridgeport. I don't think we're there yet with Ishkakov. Are we close? Probably, because this kid's been playing against men now for like the last 4 years, ever since he's been drafted in 2018. Again, another 2018 draft. Okay. Brush and I got to see Ishkakov at UConn. We knew there was something special there. Give the kids a little more time. Give the kids a little more time. Again, with social media, with the news, it's very easy to, find out all the info on these kids these days. Not like in 2002, where it's like, who the heck is Trent Hunter? You know what I mean? We know who Rick DiPietro was because we drafted him, but Trent Hunter was basically a nobody until he came up. That's what I want Ishkakov to be. Ishkakov could absolutely be my Trent Hunter this year. So could Samuel Bolduc. There's a couple of them. And for those of you who haven't seen my post, go on to ilestalk.com and you can read that last part where it says, who's the next Trent Hunter? That's on ilestalk.com. 4-1 Isles, third period. Again, those of you who have been sticking around and for those of you just joining us, welcome to the Islanders Watch Party here on Isles Talk. My name is Paul Kreischer. I'm your only host here this evening. Gary and Jill will be back sometime next week. And if we have time, we'll do another watch party. That's fine. I can do this anytime. 1-1 Kings and Hawks. Yeah, I like the Hawks. And again, if the Winnipeg Jets can't hold on, or if there's a massive injury or a plague to any one of these teams, I think the Hawks may have a legitimate shot if they can stay healthy, especially if they can get the goaltending. Kraken, I'm not so convinced with, but the Kraken may have the offense to get them in there. But be careful of the Colorado Avalanche. They're now playing sneaky. They're going to let all these teams, battle each other out, and when you can see Colorado just come back in the playoffs after getting a little retool at the trade deadline, and wow, they just come back like they were last year. But we'll see what happens. Getting back to the game here, Isles, I don't want to say they've had control. It's definitely back and forth, but I think as time goes by here, the longer St. Louis doesn't score, the worse it's going to get for them. And then that's when they're going to start taking dumb penalties, and that's when the Islanders can take control. So we'll go from there. So, and again, if you would like to be on the show, let me know. I'll bring you in. That's fine. We can talk hockey. We can talk Islanders. We can talk Flames, Leafs. We can talk any NHL club. So if you want to be on the show anytime, let me know. Except Thomas. Thomas Boyle is not allowed. Thomas Boyle likes to ask all the same questions over and over and over, even though we all give him the same answers. Different outlets give him the same answer. He does not accept those answers. So, no, Thomas is not allowed. Randy, I've already let you in. No, I mean, not today. Next time around. Next time we do a watch party. Any of you guys want to come in? That's fine. We'll make it an actual watch party. We'll bring everybody in. That's fine. I can bring in at least 10 people at one time. And the moment Randy misbehaves, he'll be off. Yeah, this is what, folks, damn, I hate giving Matthew all this credit here. Yeah, they're frustrated. They're frustrated. They know that, I'm telling you, 6 points in 10 games. This is not the way to get into the playoffs, folks. And you're starting to see it out of St. Louis right now. St. Louis knows that their playoffs are in jeopardy. I think every team in the West right now is going to make it except for maybe Winnipeg. And again, even if Winnipeg is out, you're still going to put the Colorado Avalanche in. Think about that. If the Winnipeg Jets miss the playoffs, the Colorado Avalanche are in there. And look at the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars were not in the playoffs last year. Oh, no, they were. I'm sorry. Who was I thinking? Oh, no, it was the Jets. Jets didn't make it last year. Yes, and this is why I don't have Thomas Boyle on my show in person. He does. He seriously does. It's hysterical. He does want everyone fired. Absolutely. After every loss. That I will vouch Thomas on, no doubt. Oh, he kicked that in. The Flames are not gone. Will you stop? That's the other reason why I don't invite Randy all the time. Oh. Is that a goal? Are they challenging that? What, a puck already come off? Oh, he kicked it. I don't know. Hurricanes won in the shootout. Hurricanes in Boston, 1-2. Probably the most two likeliest teams to make the playoffs right now. Unless, again, injury plague, whatever, but I don't normally count those teams until much later on. It's much easier for me to eliminate teams than it is to actually predict if they're going to make the playoffs at 10 games. Eliminating teams you can actually do. And here we go again. We got another call. NHL review. We'll see if this counts. Oh, that's close. That's close. Can they overturn that? I don't know. That's too close. Boom. Off the mooring. Can't see from there. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, the puck's there, but when did the goal come off its mooring? You know, that strap. Yeah, I didn't think it was a goal. There's not enough evidence. There's not. There we go. That's just another nail in the coffin for St. Louis, boys and girls. Man. Hi, Tarasenko. Yep. Make it happen. At some point. They don't have to do it now. There it is. No goal. Wow. All right. So for me personally, I'm going to eliminate the St. Louis Blues from playoff contention. I mean, seriously, the Avalanche are going to make it. Yeah, the kicking of his leg was a non-starter. I agree with that, but wow, Preds and Blues may not make the playoffs this year. I mean, who has a better? I'll leave this to you guys. Who has a better chance in the West of making the playoffs, the Predators or the Blues? Write your answers in the comments. Who's got a better shot? Preds or Blues making the playoffs? Oh, this is going to be a tough one. Oh, wow. 4-0 Kraken. Wow. This is what I mean, guys. Seattle's not going anywhere either. I think Seattle's here for a little longer than what most people may realize. 4-0 over Minnesota. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we'll be back with another show either next week or whenever I'm off at night. We can do a watch party. We'll do it, and I'll have Joe and Gary here at some point. And again, if you guys want to come on the show, I can bring you on the show. That's not a problem. Yeah, Sorokin's going to keep this one in here. Love you guys too, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys have been great. So, yeah, this has been a fun show. We'll do a watch party again. And yeah, if you're out west, you're a St. Louis Blues fan, Nashville Predator fan, Vancouver Canuck fan, you're in for a very long season. You're in for a very long season. And let's go back to the East here for a moment. Columbus, you've got some things to figure out. Ottawa, I still think you're better than what the record indicates. Don't stop. Leafs and Pens, you better figure something out quick. Because I'll say this now, if Toronto goes into a 3-game losing streak, it's all over. Like there will be riots in Toronto. Banana pancakes are actually pretty good. Banana or strawberry, either one. So, yeah, 4-1 third period right now. Isles up 4-1. Dominating game. Isles pretty much withstood the first period. The Blues attack. Islanders come back again in the second period, and they seem to be shutting down the Blues in the third like they have been doing. Stars over Arizona so far 2-0. I'm still rooting for Arizona, but we'll see. And again, we'll come back and we will review this at the end of the year. If any of these teams with 8 points or less in the first 10 games, if they make the playoffs, we'll see what happens. I think there's a better chance of that out west than there is, in the East right now. And again, the Ottawa Senators, you blame the Boston Bruins. Boston, you did us all dirty. You had us believe in stuff that we had you ranked lower in the preseason, and then you pull that nonsense on us. I completely blame the Bruins for that. Look at this. What we got? Gotta get that puck. Yeah, they're going to score a goal, aren't they? St. Louis is just waiting. Islanders are just standing around. They're too tired. And there's Tarasenko creeping. Yeah, I figured. Who scores that goal? Oh, good pass. Yeah. Islanders were standing around. That's going to happen. They got tired on that one. And again, I don't like Romanov going to the penalty box all the time. I know he had a comparison to Darius Kasparaitis, but I don't want Darius Kasparaitis. Oh, that deflected. Crap. I don't mind the feistiness, but I don't want him. I don't want him going in the penalty box all the time. I think that went off Mayfield. All right, so St. Louis has a little bit of life. I'm thinking the Isles with the empty net goal at some point. We still got ourselves a game, so stick around, boys and girls. Still some time left. And no, the Predators or Blues will not make it to the playoffs because the Flames will not. The Flames are going to make the playoffs. So knock it off, Randy. No, I'm not nervous. They have to stay. The Islanders have to stay disciplined, stay out of the box, keep playing to their system, keep playing to their game, keep the possession there. They'll be fine. Yeah. Barzell was a little late with that pass to Wallstrom, but that's okay. That's icing. Or is it not icing? Ooh. Red Wings and Islanders on Saturday at 12:30? Wow. If I didn't have to work, I'd probably be at that game. Yeah, I have not been at UBS Arena yet. Go figure. No, that's part of Bennington's game. So I'm in Milford, PA. From my house, you can actually see New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania at the same time. I'm about an hour and a half away from UBS Arena. Saturday matinee game like that would be perfect for me because I can get into Queens early in the morning and I can go to any coffee shop, cream cheese, bagel, whatever. I'd be good to go right before the game anyway. That would be ideal for me. Trying to get to an Islander game on the weeknight, forget that. Oh, Bushkill, half hour away, max. 209 south for me. Yeah. Yep. Been in Bushkill quite a few times. The falls are nice any time of year. Yeah, no, the ideal situation for me to get to a game in UBS Arena would probably be a Saturday night. Um, no Mets, no football, no nothing. Just getting into Queens, and I could probably do that without any issue. Or a Saturday matinee game. How far are you from Detroit? Oh God, 8 hours, maybe longer, 10 hours, something like that. Either way, it's a solid hour down to Route 80, and then I make a right onto Route 80, and I'm on Route 80 for God knows how long. So yeah, those are my teams that I can eliminate after 10 games. Again, the West, it's looking like a 10-team conference now. Where's your alma mater, Matt? And as far as the Eastern Conference goes, we got 14 teams. 14 teams, but again, I don't know if I'm going to count Philly. I think Philly's eventually going to. Oh yeah, Binghamton. Yeah, I went up there when the Sens, when the Binghamton Devils and Senators were there. I don't see Philly lasting as long, although Philly's done phenomenal so far this year. Um, I don't think the Canadians are going to last as long, but I think they're doing pretty well. Um, Sabres and Devils, they're going to be the key. Sabres and Devils, they're going to be the key to this whole playoff situation for a lot of these teams. If they can hold on, they're going to make this season really, really interesting. They're going to make the trade deadline even more interesting. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Binghamton, I'm familiar with. I went to quite a few AHL games. Oh, what a robbery by Sorokin. My goodness. What a glove. I've seen that when he was playing in CSKA in the KHL. He did that quite often. He used to do that as a showboat, believe it or not. That glove save, he used to make that look so much easier in the KHL. That was his signature glove move too. And he lands on his butt like that. All right. So if you're going to Lancaster, it's not Lancaster. It's Lancaster. If you say Lancaster in Lancaster, PA, you are going to go missing. Don't say Lancaster. It's not Lancaster. It's Lancaster. Telling you that right now, Thomas. If you don't get it right, you will go missing. And if you think I'm kidding, go ahead and try. Nice knowing you. It's not Lancaster. It's Lancaster. Oh, good move by Barzell. All right, guys, give me your opinions on Oliver Wahlstrom. I think his overall game has improved. I think what we're looking for here is consistency. Oh, damn it, Jim. Here I am trying to get serious, and then you pull that crap on me. Waffle House or IHOP? Oh, I'm going to go Waffle House. I am. Waffle House isn't as commercialized, I feel, than IHOP. Um, yeah, Waffle House, you get, yeah, Waffle House. Kraken won 4-0. Big time. Oh, no. Yeah, Waffle House. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a Waffle House Cracker Barrel guy. That's usually up around here. Um, don't again, if it's unlimited pancakes, it's IHOP. Come on, you can't go wrong with that. But yeah, Waffle House is yeah, damn. Why do you do that, Jim? That's I'll be craving waffles all night now. That's just wrong. Well played, but wrong. Again, I give the Blues credit. They're trying to make that comeback right here. The effort's there. But the Isles are they're shutting them down. Good move. All right, I can see how some people don't like that moving advertisement on the boards, but you kind of train yourself. Oh, I know I'm getting yelled at for IHOP. No, they are getting chippy, and St. Louis has to. They have to. There are reasons why Armstrong went into that locker room to talk to his team. Absolutely. These points were needed. They had to get them. St. Louis is starting to show some bite here, but you know, the Islanders are just playing their game and they're taking it to St. Louis. And this is the difference between a losing streak and a winning streak. Losing streak, you're a little tighter on the stick, trying to make those perfect passes. You know what's at stake. Oh, no. Well, Tim Hortons or Duncan. I'm not going to lie, I've only had Tim Hortons once. I thought it was okay. I try not to go to Duncan as much anymore. Um, Believe it or not, when it comes to coffee, I actually prefer McDonald's coffee over Dunkin'. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going on a long road trip, I'm taking McDonald's coffee in a heartbeat over Dunkin'. It's not even a question. Yeah. And I don't go to Starbucks. I can't afford Starbucks. I won't pay Starbucks. I mean, listen, when I'm home and it comes to coffee, I still go with the classic chock full of nuts. Um, I'm also into Cafe Bustelo. So, I need that coffee to be a little bit bitter. I need a little bit, I I like my coffee like to taste like coffee. I'm not really into dunking coffee as much. When I'm going on a road trip, it's, Cafe Bustelo, chock full of nuts if I'm making it here, if I'm going on the road and I'll hit McDonald's. Let's talk about Romanoff. Romanoff with that feistiness, yes, I like it. Yeah, no, and again, the Islanders are trying to close out the Blues. Literally, literally. Again, I love Romanoff's feistiness. I love it. I don't want him in the penalty box because of his feistiness, though. He's got to control that a little bit, and he will as the season moves on. All right, I've got 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. I'm sure you guys are down to like 3 minutes here. Um, Again, this was fun. I can do this. If you want another watch party when the Islanders are away, we can do that whenever you guys want. I don't know when the next show is going to be. Going to be a little stuck at work. You got 3:30? Okay. I don't see the Islanders making any moves yet, to be honest with you guys. And again, I'm sticking with my theme of the 2000 Devils. I don't think the Islanders are going to make moves until maybe the middle of the season. I think Lou's going to do a complete, thorough look of the organization as a whole, not just in Bridgeport, but I think in Worcester as well. Um, and I think if he makes a trade, it's going to be to make a trade for the Stanley Cup, a long playoff run, another long playoff run. And there you go. Jets win. Jets win. Thank you, Thomas Boyle. 3-2 in overtime. But again, that's Connor Hellebuck. The Jets come in and they're like, we dare you to beat him. Habs get a point. Habs are still there. And now that this segment's almost over, this is where I start to agree with Matt. Okay. Start looking at that 20 game mark. Even 15. 15's okay, but don't go nuts yet. Definitely at the 20 game mark. That's when you start looking at standings. That's when you can look at the Islanders stats. That those are the times to really look at the percentages and the point paces and everything else right now. For now, just enjoy the games. As long as the Islanders continue to rack up points from here to like game 30, you're good. If the Islanders have like 5 games over the NHL 500 by game 30, you're still good. And again, we'll talk about that as the season progresses. I love this question. Will Barzell ever score a goal before Christmas? I'm going to say yes. Yeah. 3-1 Oilers over the Devils. That's what you want to see, Islander fans. You want to see these other teams beat up on the Metro right now. This is what you want. I believe the Islanders are undefeated against the Western Conference. I think this is going to be 4-0. Anaheim, San Jose, Colorado, and now St. Louis. I think so. Oh, we have a goal. There we go. That's what I want to see. I want to see that red light. I want to see that red light. That's what I want to see. Here we go. We got an empty net coming up. That's what I wanted. Absolutely. JG Pajot. And again, I don't know what you guys think of empty net goals, but I believe them to be very important because you have to learn how to close out a game. And I don't care if you're a 20 goal scorer and 10 of them came from the empty net. A goal is a goal. If you know how to close out a game, that's what you do. They count. Oh, good move. That was a good move by Romanov. There you go. Seals. Man, I'm telling you. Game, set, match, and I'm going to go season. I'm going to go season, boys and girls. I really am. I'm going to have fun with this one. Game, set, match, and season. JG Peugeot gets his first goal. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch. So, St. Louis fans, sorry ahead of time, but you got a lot of soul searching right now. Because when the Avalanche are finally in that playoff position, you have to wait for a team to get injured. Why? Were there actually people who actually did not like this trade? I love the trade. I love the trade, and real quick, I'll tell you why I love the trade. For those of you again who know and follow the show, I covered the draft. I love doing the draft. Um, you know, Frank Nazar, I believe, was the player available that I thought would be available for the Islanders at their. I think it was the number 12 spot. Frank Nazar is like 3-4 years away. He's going to be playing, I believe, in Michigan and whatnot. It was either him or you get a left-handed defenseman. You get a left-handed defenseman who's ready to play now, and you can play him with Noah Dobson. It was a phenomenal trade. It was a real solid trade. This is a good question. Is Berube on the hot seat? No, I don't think so. I don't think Berube's on the hot seat. Um, the question is, what direction do the St. Louis Blues want to go in? That's going to be it. What direction are they going to go in? Are they going to go in for a retool? Are they going to go in for a complete rebuild? If you're going to go for a retool, you can probably go with Craig Berube for another year or two. You probably could. You could deal with that. If you're going to go rebuild, maybe you let him go, but I don't think you have to do that. A lot of people critical giving up a 13. No. I'm telling you, Frank Nazar was a solid 3-4 years away. This is immediate help now. And you still have Atu Ratu down in the minors. So, yeah, Red Wings are next. Do not take the Red Wings lightly. They're going to be a solid team. I'm expecting that to be a tougher game. Go from there. Islanders with a big win. Yeah. Right now, Armstrong's not happy. Armstrong knows the repercussions of this, folks. The St. Louis Blues are not going to have more than 8 points in their first 10 games. They know there's playoff implications right now in November 3rd. It's going to be a tough one. So, again, we will revisit this at the end of the season. We'll see if the trend continues. We'll see if anyone with, 7 points makes the playoffs this year. But I'm going to eliminate the Blues. And I'm going to probably eliminate the Arizona Coyotes tonight, too. So, again, any last minute questions, comments, concerns? Any other rumors you may have heard? Let's talk about them real quick before we go. All right. For those of you who are about to leave, you can also follow Isles Talk on Twitter at Isles Talk. Don't forget to like Isles Talk on Facebook. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like button on YouTube. You can also follow me on Twitter at P_Kreischer. I will usually respond to any and all hockey conversations. So again, guys, thanks for coming on. This was fun. We can do this again. We can do this all season if you want on the away games. I'm all for it. and we'll go from there. So for now, if you're playing the percentages, don't worry about it. You've got at least another 10 to 15 games. Um, it's solid 10 games. Don't look at the standings yet until at least game 20. If you want to have a little anxiety about it, go set game 17. But yeah, this was fun. Um, St. Louis Blues have been eliminated from the playoffs. Here we go. Let's go Islanders. We'll see you sometime next week, and we'll have Joe and Gary on as well. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come on the chat during the game, let me know. We'll bring you on. So let's go Islanders. Thank you for coming on, and we'll see you sometime soon.